Happy Monday and welcome back to another episode of Power Tools. Super excited to be here with you today. And I want to talk for a minute about prospecting. So one of the things that we see all too often is that prospecting just goes by the wayside when we get busy. It's not something that's part of our daily routine. So we really want to focus on every day we're doing something to prospect so that there's always a pipeline in our business, right? And so I want to take a second and talk about mindset when it comes to prospecting. First and foremost, let's talk about what's the value of a client. So I think a lot of times we don't really put a dollar amount to the people in our database. And I think that we're missing the boat there. I think we're missing the boat from a couple of standpoints. Number one, we're letting a lot of things slip through the cracks, period, end of story. We know that because you can go on any real estate forum anywhere and it's going to be like, oh, well, my clients went and did this behind my back. Oh, my clients went and did that. But is that the case, or is it the case that maybe we weren't in front of their face? And that's where we really need to be. So here's what I'd like for you to think about. Whatever the price point is in your market, whatever the price point is with your average client, let's think about that. So let's say it's a $300,000 home. One client is worth $9,000 if you're making 3% on that deal, right? So moving forward and moving beyond that, are they going to use you again? Is it a buy-sell situation? So maybe that's not 9,000, maybe it's 18,000 in one transaction, or one buy-sell transaction. Do they know other people? Do you like these people? Would you want to work with them? So maybe now we're getting a referral, maybe we're getting 2 or 3 referrals, and that number just continues to tick up. If we're looking at $18,000 per person, it goes from 18 to 36 and so on. And that's where we need to have the mindset of, when I don't make a call today, am I literally walking by $50, $75, $100,000? I mean, I don't know about you, but if I was walking down the street and there's a bag with $100,000 in it, I'm going to stop for a second and say, hey, there's a bag with $100,000 in it. So let's keep that same mentality, right? The second part of this is, I think, one of the most commonly overlooked pieces of prospecting. I think we all approach prospecting from the standpoint of, I've got to get a client. I've got to get a client. I've got to get this person signed up. I've got to do this, got to do that. When really, we need to be focused on, I just want to start a conversation. I just want you to respond to my email. I want you to respond to my text message. I want you to say something, and then I can move the ball a little bit more forward. I can move the ball a little bit more, and eventually we'll get to the point where we're talking about real estate. But if I send you a happy birthday notice on Facebook, on social media, a text message, whatever, and you respond, to me, that is a successful engagement. If I say, hey, what are you guys up to this weekend? Any big plans? And I get somebody to respond to that, to me, that's a successful engagement. And now we're talking, and we can keep going, and they're going to eventually ask, hey, how are you doing? And you can say, oh, I'm so busy with real estate, and whatever that looks like, and you build into it. And so I think that we need to shift our mindset, number one, to, am I leaving $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 on the side of the road? And 2, is this phone call really designed to just get somebody to say, oh, I want to use you right now? Or is this phone call really designed to, hey, let's just have a conversation. Let's start some sort of engagement. And so I think if you take those 2 approaches as you walk into your prospecting for this week, you're going to see a whole different way in the way that you interact with people. I think you will hopefully take it and you'll interact with more people because you realize the value of those clients, and celebrate those little wins, which are the start of the conversation. So I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Monday right here on Agent Retool.